but she's just a lot of times she's like, can you show me how to do this, or can you take me through this process? And I can imagine it would be could be more frustrating. When I was like, oh yeah, you're just gonna do this, quick, turn this into a PDF, print it out, send it, or send it to me in an email. And she's like, that would take me like 10 minutes. It was used to a minute and a half. Then computers don't seem helpful.
And
Like
then
adding
it's like
time.
she has you, which is great,
Yeah.
but I don't have anybody to help me honestly.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating. You know, like last night I was trying to upload a couple videos and there's here there's something going on. So like I have Jeff's computer and his iCloud account on. Most of my pictures are on his iCloud account, right? And he's been having like issues. I don't think he's like updated iCloud or something. It won't take my pictures anymore. It won't upload my stuff. I don't know. I'm like having panic attacks. Like somehow it worked out though. This morning and nothing like happened. And it's been uploading pictures.
No. Whew.
Yeah.
My life can move on.
I know.
My heart can beat more slowly and with ease. Yeah. I'm glad it worked out.
Yeah, me too. But yeah, that kind of stuff just drives me nuts. The children are like making me communicate and all that stuff.
Oh, it's like them, huh?
Yes.
This one and this one, the purples? Or these two?
The two bottom ones. Oh my God, it's Scott.
Yes, he's been here. He was here with Patricia Scott.
Yeah, he's back.
He wants to like him.
You're giving it a new.
Oh,
Aren't
wait.
we all? What?
Reading of the daily word, then the meditation. Okay, I got it. Yeah, she just switched it for me.
Yes. Yeah. We switched it for the new members a couple of Sundays ago, and it just didn't get switched back.
This is omniscience, right? Is that how you pronounce it?
Omniscience. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Carolyn. Yeah. There were three there. Yes, we do. John. Okay, great. Okay, everyone, welcome. As everyone comes in and gets settled. I don't know about you, but it was a little snowy at my house this morning. I wasn't dreaming of a white Christmas, but it came anyway. All right, well, welcome. It's wonderful to have all of you here in the sanctuary. Thank you for coming out on this little bit of a winter day. It's good to see you. And welcome to all of those who are here with us on YouTube today. Again, we're all one in spirit, and we know that you are here with us. Even though you're on YouTube, you're here. So we are going to light the Advent candle. First of all, is there anyone new here today? We have a packet for you of information, and Carolyn, our chaplain for the day, will be happy to give you. And welcome. Glad to have you here today. All right. And then Carolyn will be our chaplain today, so if you have a need for a prayer and would like to meet with Carolyn, you can meet in our chapel, which is just outside the sanctuary to the left, and then left again to our little chapel. She'd be happy to greet you there. All right. Okay, so we're going to light our Advent candle today, and today is the pink candle. And before we begin, let's just everybody be settled in your seats. And just take a nice deep breath as we gather together. Take a deep breath all the way down into the center of your being. Just be fully present in this now moment. Taking several more deep breaths, we just release and let go of all thoughts, all emotions, as we open a space within us to allow the presence of God to well up in us. So we lit the pink candle for this day, third week of Advent. Mother, Father God, you who are the substance of all life forms, you who came as a light that shines in the darkness, invest our Advent wreath with the energy of love on this third Sunday, symbolized by our pink candle. With each of these candles that is lighted, we rekindle within ourselves the desire to prepare a way for the birth of the Christ in us. May we ponder deeply the thought that our purpose for being in this world is to be another Christ through the extension of love. With each new candle that is lighted, may the flame of the Christ presence and peace grow brighter and stronger, so that this Christmas may see the radiance of the light of God shining in and through our hearts out into the world around us. Now, in this time of pandemic and uncertainty, now is the time for us to be pure love and pure radiance. It is the truth. Let us own it. Amen. And now we have our opening song, Do What Gives Me Life. And if you'd like to stand and participate, we'd love to have you do that.
I do what gives me life. I do what gives me life. I do what gives me life. Hey, I do what gives me life. I do what gives me life. I do what gives me life. Hey, in these moments I am given, in situations calling me. I now choose this path of living. I now choose what sets me free. I do what gives me life. I do what gives me life. I do what gives me life. Hey, I do what gives me life. I do what gives me life. I do what gives me life. Hey, in these moments I am given,
in situations calling me. I now choose this path of living.
I now choose what sets me free. I do what gives me life. I do what gives me life. I do what gives me life. Hey, I do what gives me life. I do what gives me life. I do what gives me life. Hey.
Oy vey. Shabbat Shalom. All of our Jewish roots are just coming alive there. So,
Yeah, Jesus was Jewish. Did you know that? Good morning. I'm Reverend Jerry, and it's my honor and pleasure as always to lead us this morning in our third Sunday of Advent joy service. And I have a poem by Hafiz to start out with, which is really a clarion call to us to be joyful, to be in touch with that energy of joy. And he says, I sometimes forget that I was created for joy. My mind is too busy. My heart is too heavy for me to remember that I have been called to dance, the sacred dance of life. I was created to smile, to love, to be lifted up, and to lift others up. O sacred one, untangle my feet from all that ensnares. Free my soul, that we might dance and that our dancing might be contagious. Amen. Yeah. So we need people to model for us how to be free enough to dance. Thank you, Claire. Yes, it is good to laugh because that opens the door to joy that's down there somewhere. And so it is then in that spirit of joy that we enter into our prayer time this morning, and we share our joy with those on the list, especially those perhaps who may not be feeling too much joy, depending on what is going on in their lives. And so we begin, and we send energy and love and healing to every name on this list. For Kirk Sansom, Paxton Baker, Greg Palmerino, Walt Watson, Mara Boyce, Lynn Tweedy, Dominic and Matthew, Pat and David Lind Kyle, Marlene Bottenfield, Susan Healy Harmon, Sharon Watson, Gracie Brown, Ann Harvey, Otto and Marilyn Good, and for all those in the world who are suffering this morning, we hold them in prayer. And for who else would you like to pray at this time? Please say their name out loud. And so we pray together. There is only one presence and one power, active as the universe and as our lives, the all-loving goodness of God, and all is well. And so we listen now to the daily word for this third Sunday of Advent.
The daily word for today is joy. Joyfully, I celebrate my oneness with God. As the three wise men followed the star to Bethlehem to greet the newborn child, I follow my inner light and discover the Christ within. I realize that this, rather than material goods or creature comforts, is the source of my joy. The Christ within is the part of me that is always one with God. Omniscience, omnipotence, and omnipresence. When I face challenging times, I can draw from an inner wellspring of joy, my foundation of irrepressible strength and fortitude. I have within me the power to overcome any challenge. This day, this moment, I am joy-filled, and I celebrate the overflowing blessings of my divinity. When they say that the star had stopped, they were overwhelmed with joy. Matthew 2:10. And now I invite you to get comfortable in your seats and put your feet on the floor and as we enter into a time of meditation. Just really feel yourself centered and fully present in this now moment. And if you choose, softly close your eyes as you begin to turn your attention inward. Become aware of the natural rhythm of your breath. Feel the breath as it enters your body. Notice the nourishing quality of your breath. Expanding with each inhale and releasing any tension with each exhale. Welcome this sense of relaxation to wash over your body. Visualize yourself sitting in a shaft of golden white light, fully surrounded, warm, nourishing, warm, bright golden white light. Gently move your awareness to your heart center, breathing slowly in and out, as if breathing from the heart itself. Breathing slowly and consciously. Imagine a warm, penetrating light flame flickering within your heart. A golden white light glowing brightly and softly, like the flame of a candle. Allow this light to expand within your heart center, filling you with a sense of peace, calm, and unconditional love. With joyful anticipation, welcome this light into your life as the indwelling Christ within you and expressing as you in the world. Radiate this loving Christ light, heart energy, out beyond the physical and energetic bodies, out into the universe. Love's pure light, moving from your heart out to all creation, uplifting and blessing all. In joyful expectation of the birthing of the Christ light within the hearts and minds of all God's children. In joy, in peace, and in love. And so it is. So just, you can sit and continue on with your eyes closed or open. Just begin to come out of the meditation. going to listen to A Wonderful World.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Oh, yeah.
Thank you. So my talk title for this third Sunday of Advent is, Oh Joy, or Oh Joy. Your choice. So the third Sunday of Advent is traditionally celebrated as Gaudete Sunday. And Gaudete is a Latin word for joy. And why are we focusing on joy all of a sudden? Because we're anticipating. I mean, the Christmas tree is up. The creche is back here. Thank you to all those who decorated, by the way. And of course, we have multiple creches out front, in case you didn't get the message on the way in. And in the Roman Catholic and Anglican tradition, on this third Sunday of Advent, the color of the vestments are pink. And it was always one of my favorite Sundays in the year, along with the third Sunday, I think it is, of Lent, which the vestment is also pink. And there was a certain subset of clergy who always looked forward to wearing pink. I'll just leave it at that. And the call today then is to open up and to get in touch with that huge font of joy that is somewhere buried there in the midst of all of life. And this is not necessarily easy for a lot of people. Many people don't have a great capacity for joy. Perhaps you know some people in your family or are friends with some people who just don't seem to have much joy. And especially those who've had difficult childhoods, those who perhaps were traumatized or suffered some kind of abuse as children. That pattern or that neural pathway for joy was never developed in their early experience. And then, of course, there is the seriousness of life, and the heaviness of dealing with a lot of burdens or problems and challenges can diminish the joy that we experience in any given day. And for the remainder, the experience of joy then only arises when something special happens, when there's some awe-inspiring moment. And so very often then it's just the peaks of life where we get to experience joy. It's a rare person indeed, I think you would agree, who lives their life in joy every day. And again, I'm sure we all know some people who have inspired us, who seem to always be plugged in to that energy of joy. And so today's call to joy may be a challenge for us, but it is nonetheless something to consider and to examine and to see if there is something valuable there for us to unearth as we approach Christmas. And again, of course, this Advent journey is symbolic of our spiritual journey in life. And what it's saying to us is there room in our spiritual life for joy? And for myself, I can't say that my memories of childhood are full of joy. My dad was rather serious and my mom was worrywart. So, joy was sporadic, shall we say. So I don't know about you, in your family. That's a good place to start, to take a little test there and see, was there much joy? Because that really is the foundation, perhaps, of your template then in terms of whether or not you experience joy, unless, of course, we change the template. So what prevents us from experiencing joy? I think the way of mastery gives us some insight here, and for those who are reading The Way of Mastery, it helps us to become masters of love, or of loving, by pointing out to us the obstacles that prevent us from being loving. It sort of doesn't go directly to love, it goes around. It looks to see, well, what are the obstacles? So that's my approach this morning. Rather than trying to somehow go head on for joy, let's look around and see what's in the way. What are the roadblocks? First of all, I think that we can hit a roadblock when it comes to being willing to experience joy from the idea that so many people in the world are suffering. How can I possibly be experiencing joy? Just look at the world. Look at all of those poor people in the Ukraine who are suffering. What right do I have? How dare I be joyful this morning? Because we have this natural empathy for people. We want to empathize with them. We want to care for them. And we want to somehow include their plight in our energy field. But to believe that to experience joy at the same time as someone else is suffering is wrong. It's a fallacy. It sounds good initially, but if we were to follow that principle, then we could never experience joy because people are always suffering. And it's very interesting. One of the lines that I love in the Gospels, Jesus said, "The poor you will always have with you." I remember I found that shocking. It's like, what? Well, suffering will always be around you. So what are we going to do? How are we going to respond? And, thinking that we can't be joyful when people are suffering is the equivalent of coming across someone stuck in quicksand and thinking the best thing I can do here is jump into the quicksand and be with them. Is that going to help? I don't think so. So we need to think this through and see how that doesn't help. It doesn't really solve anything. Obstacles to joy are grounded, I think, in not being fully present in our lives and not having a long enough view. Our gaze, perhaps, is too much in the mud. It's too downward. It's in this present moment challenge or difficulty. Any obstacle can be, another obstacle can be not paying attention to the positives in our life. The brain naturally focuses on negativity. I don't know if you knew that. It's the Velcro effect, right? And it's from a period in our lives when we had to be that way because we had to be on alert and we had to be looking around, looking for danger, because there were wild animals that would have eaten us. And so the brain has that as a baseline. It's always noticing the negatives. And so that means that unless you choose to notice the positives or the good in any present moment, then you run the risk of missing it completely. You know, it's like, oh yeah, that's good, but look at this over here. And so that's the Teflon effect, where the good comes through and it goes flying through because you don't hold on to it. It just, right, like in the frying pan, the Teflon, it just goes in one side, out the other. But the Velcro is noticing everything that's wrong and everything that's negative. This doesn't mean pushing yourself to enjoy what's happening or forcing a positive feeling necessarily. It's simply pointing out that the experience is in fact good. It's like taking the time to be conscious that, wow, here I am this morning once again, having this tremendous gift in my life of being a minister and of being up here, part of a service, part of a spiritual community. Like, I can think, oh my God, I've got to give this talk. Is it good? Is it written well enough? You know, all of that. As opposed to, isn't this wonderful that we're here this morning? So that's kind of where we need to look at what's going on in our life. Are we just diminishing stuff, or are we actually appreciating the real positive and the good that's right here in this moment? And it's from that then that we start to get some enjoyment. And from enjoyment we build happiness, and then we touch into joy. So there's a little progression going on here. And so what I'm saying then is we really need to tune into our experiences and to make sure that we're really looking at all the good ones that are there. And it's more than just doing something nice. We need to bank those experiences. It's like, you know, you have this bank account within you for happiness or joy, and you're making a deposit each time that you notice, oh, this is a really nice experience. This is a happy experience. This is a joyful experience. Let me bank that. The next time something good happens, try pointing it out to yourself and appreciating it fully. Every time that we do this, we're training our brain. We're building new neural pathways to pay more attention to the good. That will make way then for a more positive approach or joyful perspective in our life. And it is the over time piece, I think, that's really where the gold is. That's where it's so important. It builds over time. Another obstacle to experience joy is killjoy thinking. Killjoy was here. You know, have you had this experience? Sometimes in the middle of a lovely moment, a really nice moment, while gazing at a beautiful scenery on a road trip, or you're sitting with your family at Thanksgiving or whatever, and suddenly in the middle of all that, you think, oh, this experience is going to be short-lived. This is going to end soon. And then you start to feel sad that you're only in Yosemite for an hour. And you're already anticipating leaving and all that. Or that your family are leaving that evening or the next day. And so, there's no Debbie's here, is there? I was going to say it's a Debbie Downer move. Apologies to Debbie back there. She is there. I was looking to see if you were here. Yes, that's a very unfair use of the word Debbie. I apologize. So we're anticipating the absence of something even while we're experiencing it. So there's the killjoy effect. This is called killjoy thinking. And it's doing that exactly. It's reducing our joy. The truth is, no moment lasts forever. Every experience is short-lived. But there are two completely different ways that we can respond to that reality. We can feel sad about it, or we can use the same sense of impermanence to inspire us to be more present and more appreciative. Well, isn't it nice that we're all here this morning and that it's raining outside or it's snowing up the road? We can focus even more on the joy of any particular moment. Wasn't it beautiful that we had Gabriel and Angela singing, "I do what gives me life"? And wasn't it great that Claire was dancing her hat off as usual? So the fact that this is an unusual experience in the week is all the more reason to appreciate it and to touch into the joy that it brings up. And when I have those experiences now more and more, what I say to myself is, yes, I know this is temporary, but I'm really going to savor and appreciate it all the more. And I'm going to really savor the joy of this moment. Another obstacle is being on the fence about things. So have you ever tried to take time out for yourself, all the while telling yourself, you should be really working, you should be doing something else? Maybe you felt tired, or maybe you really wanted a break, and you could do it with a break. Read a book, watch TV, or take a walk, whatever. But all you can think about is all of the chores, all of the to-do lists that you have to do. Or perhaps you're someone who's craving some time to yourself, and you find yourself unable to stop worrying about the projects. Maybe you're a very service-oriented person, or your job is like that. There's always going to be something more important pulling on your attention to be done. And so it's easy to feel like you should be doing that. That's what you should be doing. And so one of the main issues with guilt then is that it keeps us on the fence. You're neither fish nor fowl. You're doing this, but your mind is really over there. Whether we're working, caregiving, or doing chores, there's always that little voice that says, yeah, I really need a break though. And then when we're trying to relax, we feel the pressure of that to-do list. We're never fully present to one or the other. And so I think it's important in those situations to get off the fence. Firmly but gently say to yourself, okay, I'm going to pick a side here. And remind yourself that either you can be busy or you can relax in this moment. But you must choose to commit fully to one or the other. And after all, giving yourself the time to recharge sets you up to be more productive, more patient, and the bonus of that is that you will be happier and that you will perhaps be more joyful. And finally, I think that seeing our lives from the short-term perspective can be a major downer when it comes to allowing joy into our lives. Yes, there are difficult moments in our lives. In fact, there are difficult times, stretches of time, perhaps even difficult years. But a motto to keep in mind is, this too shall pass. And when we stand back from the totality of life, it's even more true, isn't it? All of this is going to pass. And so what we're doing here is we're letting go of our temporary identity, and we're stepping into a much bigger, deeper identity, which after all is what this Christ Mass Christmas season is all about. We're building again that muscle of being the Christ, of knowing ourselves to be an infinite, eternal, expansive, conscious being. That's what we're doing. And you know, I don't know, you can call it different things. Maybe dimension jumping. You know, if you're here in 3D, well then you're in this dimension. And it's possible for us to move into that other dimension of the Christ presence. And so in a sense then, once again, all of this is just grist for the mill. It's all practice time. And our lives exist within a context of infinity, expansion, bliss, and eternity, a parenthesis that exists in our minds that we call birth and death. So all around us is infinity, all around us is expansion, is eternality, is spirit. And here we are putting these little parentheses. Oh, I was born here, I died here. And there's joy all around. And we're using that parentheses to keep it at bay when you think about it. Because right now, in this moment, we are infinite. Even in these mortal bodies. Right now, we're eternal beings. We're not going to die. So therefore, we're eternal. We're experiencing a moment, excuse me, a moment of eternal life in this present moment. If we can let in some glimpses of that right now, then joy becomes possible. And I think that's really the access point for us, for joy. So I want you to think about something. What would you say is the one thing in your life that is stopping you from experiencing joy? Just make a mental note of that. And I want you to repeat after me. And you can say, despite X. Okay, all right. Despite X. Let's try that again. Despite X, whatever that is, in my life at this time, I am an infinite, eternal, expansive consciousness. It is okay for me to experience joy. It is more than okay for me to experience joy. So we've just used an affirmation there to touch into joy and to allow it to come up from the subconscious level to our conscious level. And we're tapping into the superconscious of the Christ mind and heart. So I encourage us during this week perhaps to think about some of those obstacles and then to just, when you notice them, just say some affirmation like that. And one final caution, that is that we never attempt to feel joyful in order to bypass or to avoid pain. That's not what we're talking about here. That won't work very well. So one of the beautiful pieces of music that is gifted to us by these great composers is Ode to Joy by Beethoven. Bum 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 ba-dum. Da da dee da 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 la 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 da 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 la 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 da 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 dee da da that's Beethoven's Ode to Joy, and it is the anthem that is used by the European Union when they have gatherings. That's what they play, instead of the individual national anthems. And its lyrics are a bit dated for us. They're also, gender, whatever. So I'm going to read just the ending, and I will edit as we go. Gladly, as her son flies through the heavens' grand plan, go on, brothers, sisters, your way, joyful like a hero to victory. Be embraced, millions. This kiss to all the world, brothers, sisters, above the starry canopy, there must dwell a loving father, mother. Are you collapsing, millions? Do you sense the Creator world? Seek him, her, above the starry canopy, above stars must he, she dwell. Except that we are the stars through which the divine in truth shines. So let us be joyful. Amen. And thank you for your playfulness to sing along. All right. And so it is our joy to be in touch with our prosperity and our abundance on this day, and to be grateful for all that we have. And from that place of prosperity and abundance and joy, then we give joyfully this morning. So if you want to hold your offering over your heart, if you're with someone here present, you can hold hands. As we say our prosperity blessing. Prosperity to us and through us in unending streams of plenty. The inexhaustible resource of spirit is equal to every demand. And those words are from the founder of Unity, Charles Fillmore. All right. And so, Sandy, where are you? Oh, there you are. Our platform assistant this morning is Sandy Spurgeon, and our musicians are Gabriel and Angela, because Sandy said, oh, I forgot to introduce myself and the singers. So we're just making up for, It was snowing at her house. We give her a pass, And so we have our beautiful archangels, Gabriel and Angela, with another joy-filled song.
I choose joy. I choose joy. I choose joy. Veil and lies hide the light from my eyes. Look up to the skies and I choose joy. I choose joy. I choose joy, I choose joy. Be who I must be, for the light shine in me. Body to be free, I choose joy. Joy, I choose joy. I choose joy. I choose joy. I choose joy. Be who I must be, for the light to shine on me. Body to be free. I choose joy. I choose joy. Joy, I choose joy.
Yeah. Yeah. I can still hear you. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Woo. How about find the stable ground? Find the stable ground.
Okay. Here we go again.
Woo! Or we could do it from the beginning.
Should we? Should we start over?
Sure. Let's do it.
Hey. Okay.
Yeah.
When the walls come tumbling down, I choose joy. I choose joy. When the world stops spinning round, I choose joy. I choose joy. When my heart is on the move, when my music's lost its groove, when I have too much to prove, I choose joy, I choose joy. When hate is all I see, I choose joy, I choose joy. When fear won't let me be, I choose joy, I choose joy. When betrayal and lies hide the light from my eyes, I look up to the skies and I choose joy, I choose joy. Joy, 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 I choose joy. Joy, 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 I choose joy. In this moment right here, I choose joy, I choose joy. For the ones that I hold dear, I choose joy, I choose joy. To be who I must be, for the light to shine in me, for everybody to be free. I choose joy, I choose joy. Joy, 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 I choose joy. Joy, 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 I choose joy. Find the stable ground, peace and hope abound. I hear the sweeter sound, the chains have come unbound. Love is all around when I choose joy. In this moment right here, I choose joy, I choose joy. For the ones that I hold dear, I choose joy, I choose joy. To be who I must be for the light to shine on me, for everybody to be free. I choose joy, I choose joy. Everybody will be free when I choose joy. I choose joy.
Well done. Thank you. Great message there that when we choose joy, people will be free. Isn't that better than thinking, I can't be joyful because people are suffering? There we go. All right. So we have some announcements. Our Unity candle lighting service will be held on Christmas Eve at 5 p.m. That's Saturday, the 24th. So, as always, we invite you to join us for that very meaningful and beautiful candle lighting service. And then on Christmas morning, you can stay in your pajamas, and the service will be completely on Zoom. And Leslie has put the Zoom, now this is a Zoom link, not a YouTube link. We're not live streaming. It's a Zoom link to make it easier. So that went out in last Thursday's e-bulletin, and it will go out again next Thursday, and we probably may even send out a special one-off link just to help people find it. And it's also in the email that goes out on Monday morning. Yeah. I think it's under the Sunday service. Is that it? Yeah. Okay. All right. So, end of year giving. We are fast approaching the end of the year, and love offering and tithes you wish to be included in the 2022 tax year must be submitted by January 10th. So please make sure that the check is dated no later than the 31st of December 22, and that way it gets included for this year then in your tax paperwork. So Pat Lynn Kyle just recently published a new book, Nico and Me, The Secret of Who I Am and What's My Purpose. And David let us know that it's on Amazon at the moment, and you can purchase the Kindle version for $1.99. And he asks that you leave some comments, like read the book and then leave some comments for Pat, because she would love to be able to see that. And this is her final book, and so just enter Pat's name in the search bar. He said that if you enter the book name, it may not come up, but put Pat Lynn Kyle and then maybe the title of the book. Okay? We hold them in our heart at this time. Spiritual exploration. The books came in, right, Leslie? Oh, they haven't arrived. Okay. So Anna, the grandmother of Jesus, we will start studying that on January 10th. We have ordered some extra books, so if you didn't put your name in for one, you can let Leslie know. And then this coming Tuesday and the following Tuesday, we're continuing with the series on aging, which it's not a downer. This is a great series. We've had wonderful discussions, and I will be doing part 2 of the video that we watched last week. It's really good stuff. So please join us on Zoom or in person Tuesday at 10. Let's see. Also, I know somebody was asking me about the staff gift. The envelopes are back there on the table. That's, a voluntary gift, obviously. If you want to use those envelopes, they're back there. Then Claire has an opening for Healing Touch at 3 o'clock, right? So if anybody wants. Okay, we have it gone already. And let's see, what else? Was there something else I was supposed to? Okay, so we have our list of volunteers for today. Sandy Spurgeon, our platform. Gabriel and Angela, musicians. Kathy Evel and Carolyn Homan and Larry. Ushering was Dennis Casella, Linda Bacchetti. Chaplain is Carolyn Homan. Hospitality, Heidi Klopfer and Lita Stone. Sound, Craig. Leslie, of course, on live stream, and Rosie in the bookstore. So a huge thank you to all of the Christmas elves who decorated so beautifully. Thank you. And so instead of the traditional unity prayer, we're saying this prayer for the Sundays of Advent. So I invite you to pray along with me. I believe in the infinite face of God beyond us, experienced as being itself, the ultimate source of all that is. I believe in the intimate face of God besides us, the presence of God as a loving mother, father, the living Jesus, other spiritual presences, all sentient beings, and nature as the infinite face of God. And I believe in the inner face of God being us, the experience of God as awakened spirit, breath, consciousness. Thank you. So let us stand and close with I Choose Love.
Peace in my life is growing because I choose love. Love's always present, it's what I'm made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one. One tie that binds us that can't be undone. I choose love. Peace in my family is growing because I choose love. Let love be present, it's what we're made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one. One loving family, sharing one son. I choose love. Peace for our planet is growing because we choose love. Let love be present, it's what we're made of. We choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one. One choice unites us. Let this be the one. We choose love. We choose love. We choose love.
Enjoy. Make it a great week.
Every time. No, it's all the way up. So I wonder if the battery's dead. Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh, great. Yeah, I'll bring it next to my car.
Good.
Yeah, I actually thought about it this morning. I was like, oh, I think I should bring my battery today. Yeah, just 9 volt. Okay. Okay. Oh, there's no off. I think it just came unplugged. On that way, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Jerry just came up and he did this. And I thought I wasn't hearing the guitar. It's so interesting. Last night I was like, I think I need to bring a battery, and it's getting to the end of the battery life. So sorry about that. Yep, halfway here. I was like, just here, but not itself. Yeah. You had it up. Yeah. Okay. Got it. Thank you.